Hello there and welcome to the QNB Stars League review show, all in English here on Alcas, as we look back at all six matches in Week 10. Al Duhail, the champions, they managed to extend their lead at the top of the table, but the big movers were down in the bottom. Teams that were desperate for points actually got them and now starting to move away from the danger zone. As always, I'm joined by former English Premier League players Nick Summerby and Chris Makin, who will share with us their expert opinion and look at each match in more detail. Plenty to come from them throughout the show, but first let's remind you how they lined up for Week 10. Spread over 3 days. On Thursday, the 30th of November, the early kickoff was Al Gharafa versus Al Arabi at 1600. And then Salal were up against Al Rayyan at the later kickoff of 1810. Then on Friday, the 1st of December, Qatar Sports Club against Al Kharitiyat was the early kickoff at 1600. And Al Khor took on Al Sad at 1810. And then to complete the round on Saturday, the 2nd of December, Al Duhail were up against Al Malkhia. That was the early kickoff at 1600. And Al Saleh faced Al Ahli at 1810. Right, let's get straight to the action. Al Gharafa had slipped to 9th position and they were really underperforming. They needed to turn their season around and turn it around fast. This they probably looked at as a good opportunity against struggling Al Arabi. It was a beautiful sunny afternoon down at Al Gharafa Stadium, and Al Arabi coach Luka Benasic was hoping he'd be smiling at the end of the match. It started well as the returning Khalfan pounced on a mistake, and Al Arabi 1-0 up just before the hour. Their lead only lasted 3 minutes as Alaa Eddin got Gharafa back in the game. Amro gave Jean Fernandez's side the lead. Jimenez crowned the afternoon with just his second goal of the season when he squeezed his free kick underneath a woeful Al Arabi defensive wall. Al Gharafa picked up only their second win of the season, but it was a great improvement. Chris Makin, I find it unbelievable that I'm saying just their second win of the season.
I think what's more important, it was their second good performance on the bounce. I know they got beat by Al Rayyan the week before, but that was a strong performance. I think if you would have told or asked Mr Fernandez before the game which team would you like to play and, you know, to get the 3 points, it would be Al Arabi, because they've got the worst defence after this weekend. Attacking wise, never mind the unlucky injury to Vice, for Al Gharafa was superb in the second half as well, really strong. OK, it was against one of the league's worst defences, but Al Gharafa, another strong performance. And like you say, 2 wins, shoots them up to 7th now. And
sorry to turn to you, Nick, for the bad news, but Al Arabi rock bottom.
This is the first time out of all the years we've been here now where they're under pressure, you know, and they have unless things change dramatically, they have a chance to go down, really do. And I don't blame the manager for that. I don't blame whoever comes in, because the managers, it can't all be about them. It's way beyond that, you know, and they need to get it sorted out, because otherwise they will go down. I mean, I think it's the second game now where they've taken the lead, so there's your opportunity. Straight away there, Khalfan, Yusuf, the youngster, he's made a few mistakes, but he'll learn. You know, he's got to learn quickly. I mean, this is Aladdin. We're going to go into probably a little bit more. This is what he's capable of doing. You know, he's got to believe.
He's been listening to you and Chris.
He's got to believe in it. And the 2 goals that he scored are wonderful.
But this man, Al Yari, he's been fantastic, Chris.
Doesn't need any advice, does he? Probably the league's best player at the moment with current form. Absolutely wonderful to watch, because he is driving at the opposition at the moment, and he's beating them and he's getting his crosses in.
I mean, that summed it all up as well with that defensive wall and Luis Jimenez just squeezing one underneath.
Don't you think that's something outside of the box, as Nicholas likes to say? When was the last time you seen somebody put the ball underneath the wall?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking that. The more I watched it, and we'll talk about that in a second, this is Vladimir Vice. This was just before half-time. This was a bad sign for him and Al Gharafa. It's an ACL, an anterior cruciate ligament injury, and he's going to be out for the whole season. That is upsetting for him and for Al Gharafa, Nick.
Yeah, very international as well. You know, but they get over it now. It's a lot different than when me and Chris played. It was you know, more or less finish your career. You're looking to get back, but it's a different situation. They get back and he'll be back playing. It's just, you know, you have all this diving, what's going on in football. You know, that's when a serious injury. That's when you know straight away he's gone down and it didn't feel right. You knew straight away there was no movement there at all. And you know, we hope he gets better because he's a good friend of the show. More time for him to come on the show with us now.
Brilliant.
He's looking
Get it
forward to
sorted.
that.
I've got to say the free kick, because the more I watched it, I know on the night Nick and I were talking about it. Nicky said he was terrible at defensive ball, but at the same time he was, you know, hitting it along the floor. Anyway, looking at other things, this is Al-Yari, Nick.
Yeah, we have to cover him because of how well he's playing, and he has to go straight into the international setup. Should do better here and score, but you know, he's getting in the positions, and it was a wonderful pass as well from Weiss. But you know, he's on fire. I mean, football's about entertaining. This guy's doing that now, and he's enjoying it. He's running up players. He's full of confidence, and he's got an end product as well.
Now, Al-Adin, we said it was a good goal. He's been listening to you and Nick.
I don't know
This is a
how
great
high
header.
he gets up here, but it's a thundering
It's
header.
a Cristiano Ronaldo type height, that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, good style. But that, you know, he doesn't score easy goals, does he?
Exactly.
That's an incredible goal, that, and he climbs about 6-7 foot there. He gets well above the opposition defender. Fantastic header.
Yeah. Now we've seen, we mentioned Al-Yari once. You want to look at him again very quickly, Nick and both Chris as well. His relationship with Amro and Al-Adin, and that's what's becoming so strong.
Confidence is wonderful. You know, I mean, this is him. Look, one thing on his mind now. You know, running at players, and look at the skills what he's got there with an end product. This is for Amro's goal. You know, well done by the youngster as well for putting it away. But Al-Yari created it all, getting to that byline. Look at this. This gives me a little bit of an idea now with the confidence. Look at the play there, Louise. You know, Al-Adin, and then this all of a sudden there now when it gets to Al-Yari. Probably should have just slipped him in, but you know, I think the more they're starting to work together, and it's starting to look like there's a bit of a picture coming there. You know, and it's a big turnaround for them. You know, they look half a side now.
Half a side, good enough to get in the top four, or is that going to be too much for them? Nick, word on that?
No, the battle there for me is Salal, Salia. Even though they're both faltering, your top three they're away. Anything down there is
8 points behind Salia.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Interesting. Anything else? Still a long way to go. You mentioned Salal there. Salal, moving on. They had dropped points in their last 3 matches. They were starting to lose touch, really, with the top 4. They were hoping to get something out of the match with Al Rayyan, who were 10 points ahead of them. Your commentators, Nick Summerby and Chris Makin.
Moose stayed forward, he hooks it over the top towards Hamadallah. Hamadallah back towards Tabata, who gets a free header. He shouldn't be allowed that. Tabata, possibly the smallest man on the pitch tonight, but he makes space, gets in front of Rami this time. Post delivery this time, nearly finds its way through to Sebastian. Here's Maxud. Oh, Vieira coming in with a late run there. Gets good contacts on the ball, Nick, but it goes wide.
Yeah, well done by Maxud. You don't usually see this. Gets on the outside. What do you do when you're there? Just lift it up. He lifts it up. Wonderful from Vieira. Deserved a goal, but just pulls it wide.
Hamadallah just found a little bit of space down the side of Al Yafi. Ali comes over and clears the danger.
Chris, he's pulled up there. Hamadallah at the moment, it looks like a hamstring. He's feeling the back of his leg at the moment. That'll be a blow, that, for Rayyan.
Good move forward as well. What a lovely delivery. What a goal! No, sorry! Excuse me. What a move, what a delivery by Gumu. It's a first-time ball as well by Mawafat, the young fullback. It's perfect for Hamadallah.
Do you know what's happened there, Chris? He knows he's coming off.
It's better. Sambo's laying it off and no one's in the box on it. Oh, that's an interesting ball. Mawas is at the far post. Does he take the shots on? Back to Sambo if he's not closed down now. Wonderful ball now. Tabata in space. What a shot.
They're turning the pressure on. Here's a strike from Tabata, a fantastic strike as well. The ball really is. It's got it's movement in the. You know, he gets movement in the ball, but the keeper keeps an eye on it.
Once again, turning away from the goal, or forced back. Al Rayyan finding it so hard to get in behind this Salal defence, and Sebastian actually does it. It's a mistake by Ali. We're looking for offside.
Maybe that's you've got to do something different, and this is perfect. Great ball by Matsu, just gets it over the top. I don't think he expects it then, Sebastian, and when the ball does come, he can't get the ball out of his feet.
Dispossessed. There's Coe with a long-range effort into the near post.
Good strike as well. You know, he thought the keeper had got it covered. Just gets a touch and a good save as well by the keeper. Really wonderful save. The ball's bouncing. Gets his fingertips on it just to push it wide for another corner. Maksud again showing a lovely bit of footwork. Get it out to the right side now. There's a chance here now for Ryan. 1-2, edge of the box. Here we go.
Love it, love it. Mutawali into the far post where Sebastian was lurking. Oh, that's what he's in this. Oh, what a goal! It's handballed on the line, but Tabata taps it in. And it's all about Alan. He's coming at half-time. He probably is the best crossover ball in the QMB Stars League at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you something, he gets the ball and you think, what are you doing? Don't stand off him. And what a delivery into the box. And you got to say as well, it goes to the far post. What a strike it is as well by Sebastian. There's a delivery going in. Look at this for a strike. It looks like it goes in Reali. He manages to keep it out, but there's Tabata just to smash it in. They've got that lead now. That's what they've been looking for, Ryan. The modern day footballer here now. All of a sudden there's a chance for Salal. Can they get back into the game? Rami just chips it to
Interesting, interesting. Nick, there it is!
Chris!
Equalising goal, Jadou!
Those words! What you said, what were they? Come on, Chris, you've got to tell everyone.
What did I say?
Come on, Chris. You've got to be honest. I mean, here's Jadou now. How they've got back into the game. Do you know what, Chris? It just started then. When they got the ball, they got to the left-hand side. You thought, hang on a minute, they've got a chance for a cross. When it comes to Rami, what a delivery.
We've seen 2 full-backs on either side now with great delivery. Rami just hangs up next, perfect.
Absolutely, what a quality. And there it is, there's Jadou. And they're back in the game, Salal.
On the far side now.
Sorry, I said Juma then, Jadou.
Oh, yeah. Mawas, is he closed down by Allah? Mawas gets his shots off. Omar Barry has to go down early to save that attempt then. He most famously said he would. Good ball, good ball. There's a chance. I tell you what, Nick, he's been listening to you. Kept on side before and he makes a near post run this time, Ishmael. He's been listening to Nicholas Summerby at Alcas English.
He does everything right.
Yeah. Tabata lays off to Coe. Coe thinking of taking on the shot out wide to Baro Siddiqui. Into the near post where Sebastian was. Frustration coming from the stands now. Maybe offside against Sebastian.
So 1-1. Al Ryan, I think, probably be disappointed with that. For Salal, that was a good draw, Nick Summerby.
I thought a fantastic performance. I mean, this is just what they do best, and they do it best against those top 3 sides. The way they're organised, they all work for each other, aggressive. And we're going to show you a situation in a minute where Ryan had it, and for the first time Ryan didn't know what to do. They had to force them back because they just get tight on him. Next person goes in, and Nash went in midfield, and me and Chris went, well, there's a chance, get around him. He was fantastic. Any little bits around, he was just picking him up. I thought that's possibly the best performance we've seen there defensively as a unit.
Just one thing, in the commentary, you may have heard Nick saying there, what did you say, Chris? What did you say? And what Chris Makin said was he didn't feel there was a goal in Salal on the night. And Nick said, you shouldn't say things like that. And lo and behold,
straight away,
lo and behold, it came. All right, let's have a look at in a bit more detail. Chris, you can start it off. This is Al Rayyan finding it difficult against Salal.
They were. It was absolutely. This was like the Salal of old. Absolutely superb. Set up right. Everybody willing to put a shift in, forcing Al Rayyan away from goal. So many bodies back, and they couldn't find a way through. Couldn't find that forward pass. And when they did, there was a white shirt going tight all the time. Here we go. Zuma back to Coe. Coe back away from goal. Job done. Ball's on the halfway line. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you mean when you say they are tough to play against.
Not many sides do that. But sides can do that, you know. It's very much like I could say about Sam Allardyce. He gets into a club and he gets them organised at that first and foremost, and then you can go, after that, you can go and try and score your goals. They're brilliant at it. And at the end of the season, if anyone's got to play them at the end of the season, that's when they can throw a spanner in the works, no problem.
Now, with Al Gharafa, we said that Al Dean may have been listening to Nick and Chris. I think maybe Ishmael has too. Has he, Nick?
Yeah, but what's happening here, Ishmael's pushing forward. This will give you an idea of what they're like. He's right in the far corner. This is your full-back. You just keep your eye out here now. How you FIFA, yeah? Is that
How you feet?
Now, just watch how you FIFA there, look. Now, this is what they're all about. Look, he's seen there, he's out of position, and he gets back into position. It's brilliant. Yeah. That is fantastic. That tells you it's like clockwork, the way they work.
Yeah.
You know, look, there he's coming into the picture on the far left there. You know, it's organised, helping your friends out, helping your pals out. He's out of position, I'll just fill in there now.
And we see the sides who don't do that, and how sides like Al Rayyan take advantage straight away. And use the
Sunderland in
space.
1999 were renowned for it. Right wingers not getting back and helping the full back out.
Would you be referring to the chap next to you?
He never did that once.
I used to go like, I used to say, there's two coming now, Chris.
Right, let's talk about Rahili, defenders.
Just another example of Umsal getting tight. This is Sebastian. Where do you want him? Getting away from goal, right up his backside, so to speak. And there we go, he gets the second ball as well. Symptomatic of their performance on the night, everyone getting tight, being aggressive. Fantastic.
Some key injuries this weekend, and there was one unfortunately, for Hamid Allah, for Al Rayyan.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he didn't play really last season till the end, you know, and he's come back and he's played a lot of football and it's pulled up. I think it's more caution this, so I don't think it should be as long. But you know, you get to see Rayyan without the two centre forwards. They make a difference when Sebastian and Hamid Allah play together. It takes them to another level. So it's going to be interesting to see them. We talk about Bunja at Al Sadd. You know, obviously they still have Sebastian and still got forwards, but let's see how they react without him, because he's a massive player and he's a big miss for them.
All right, the Khalifa Stadium was the setting for the match between... Oh, no, I beg your pardon, I'm jumping the gun. Let's go to Qatar Sports Club. They were rock bottom going into Week 10. They had new head coach, of course, in Abdullah Mubarak, so they're hoping they can turn things around. Chris Macon has the commentary.
Harry and Ali linking up on this left-hand side for Croatia, but they give the ball away. Babatunde, wonderful ball through to Fahad. Good covering that time by Mohamed. Jasmine with his left foot this time. Oh, referee's pointing to the spot. I'm not sure about that. Swung in by Al Jasmi. And this could be the perfect start for new coach Abdullah Mubarak. Babatunde in the 80th minute steps up for Qatar Sports Club. Sofyan goes the right way, but it's going to be a goal to Babatunde. Claims his third of the season from the penalty spot. There's Babatunde again. Fahad ahead of him. Fahad with a run inside Moe. Fahad still. Fahad, can he finish? Fahad, what a block by Moe. Great run by Fahad. That's what he gives Qatar Sports Club. Wonderful pass forward from Babatunde to release a ball, but what about this recovery, run and tackle from Moe? Fabulous defending from Moe. Corner now, whips into the far post, and it's 2-0 Taibi. No one was marking the big central defender, and it's all going all around the night for Qatar Sports Club. What a start now for the home side. Taibi grabs his second of the season. No one's marking him. Cross to the far post. Sibakani gets right underneath the cross. He doesn't realise Taibi's behind him. Wonderful technique by the central defender. Easy touch in midfield from Bruno Gallo, making it look easy. That's an interesting ball to Babatunde if he stayed onside, and he has done. His players racing into the box now. Babatunde back towards Al Jasmi. Best of clearness is there. That pass is from Moe. It's a deliberate back pass. Sofyan comes out and takes it. It'll be an indirect free kick to Qatar Sports Club now. Big mistake there from Sofyan. Gallo's going to touch off to Fahad. Just change the angle a little bit. Is Gallo going to take on first time? Gallo to Fahad. Fahad wants to go tries to go to the far post. Screaming for the penalty now, the Qatar players. I think it's going to be a corner. Let's have a look. Comes off Tibbe Caneen. Reverse pass to Fahad. Fahad looks in front of Abdul Rahman. Good play by Fahad. Out wide to Al Jasmi. Jasmi, another wonderful delivery. Oh, it's just on target. Al Kubaisi gets in front of the goalkeeper Sufyan. He gets his head off. Sufyan clatters into Al Kubaisi. Good shape. Qatar Sports Club really allowing Karatia to. Oh, that's a wonderful delivery though. Just as I was saying about the shape of Qatar Sports Club. Gamal at the far post just loses Tibbe Caneen. Wonderful delivery from Al Daheri. He's Tursunov into Al Yazidi. Al Yazidi just opens up for Al Yazidi. Well off target though. What happened to the defenders of Qatar Sports Club then? Massive amount of space just opened up for Al Yazidi. Watch this. Gamal just caught off the ball. Al Yazidi doesn't hit the target. It's got to go down as a chance for Karatia. Again. Diba now. Diba opens up for Diba. Can he hit the target? Diba 2-2. What a goal from Diba. We've paid the price. Qatar Sports Club went 2-0 up in the first half, but goals from Tibbe Caneen and Diba have put Karatia back in the game. It's all square 2-2. Once again, the central defenders of Qatar Sports Club, I don't know where they go. There's a reverse pass from Tibbe Caneen. Diba, first touch out of his feet, and it just opens up. He's not closed down by Salem. It's on his left foot, his favourite foot. This time, instead of Al Yazidi. Played by Qatar Sports Club. Shin. Run at Abdul Rahman. He's got the space in front of him. Can he deliver? Good early ball into the box. What a delivery! And Fahad takes it off the head of Babatunde. What a ball by Shin down his left-hand side. Gallo surrounded by Karatia players, and he does really want to get out wide to Shin again. He's just had the beating of Abdul Rahman. Can he do it again? And he does. And Fahad took it off the head of Babatunde again. Twice that's happened in a matter of seconds. Sounds guilty of giving the ball away now. In possession far too easily. It's better. Tursunov now. Tursunov towards Tibbe Caneen. Free header for Tibbe Caneen. Doesn't get the direction or the power to beat Jassim in goal, but what a delivery from Tursunov. And this time it's roles reversed as Tibbe Caneen pulls off Taby. Oh, by Diba, Tibbe Caneen now, 3-2. What a goal by Tibbe Caneen, grabs his 8th for the season. And it's all about the ball. He's offside. Oh, no. Once again, the two Moroccans. Oh, he's offside. What a ball by Diba, though. Fires it diagonally to Tibbe Caneen, and he's a yard offside. What a goal that would have been. Good play now by Qatar Sports Club, though. Oh, into the far post! 3-2! Homeside take the lead, and it's Ali. It's his first touch. He's coming on a substitute. He replaced Al Kubaisi, and he's put Qatar Sports Club 3-2 ahead. Fantastic cross into the box again. Here we go. Great build-up down the far side. Whips into the far post. Oh, Sufyan caught well underneath that ball. Now Jasmine whipping it in. And Ali gets a wonderful touch. Mohamed can't keep the ball out of the goal. This game's really ebbed and flowed. Celebration from Ali. Perfect landing. Break on now for the home side. Al Jasmi trying to take on Mohamed. He finds Ali. Oh, Fahad! Oh, past the near post. It's a great chance to wrap up the 3 points for Qatar Sports Club. But Fahad doesn't take it. Salam just takes his half the ball. Habibu's a 3 against 2 here. If they work it well, Habibu back to Babatunde. Babatunde hits the bar. Ali keeps it alive. Babatunde again. What a chance for Babatunde.
Wow, what an important win for Qatar Sports Club. And Nick and Chris always say, from their own experience, a new voice in the dressing room. Abdullah Mubarak came in. Goodness me, that was a totally different side and a totally different performance, Chris.
Absolutely superb, and it should have gone into the break 2-0, by the way, because I didn't think it was a penalty, but they deserved it. You know what, I was so pleased for him because, like you said, the new coach came in, he was very positive at the press conference. He also promised us all that they would not go down at the end of the season. And with performances like that, there's no chance they will, because attacking-wise, they had too much for Karadzic on the night. Superb.
Do you remember Rajab, the goalkeeper, told us before the season started? He said, "Hang on, we've actually got some, we've got a good setup there, and we've got some good players." And we always thought, and right at the first few games, actually looked quite organised, and you thought everything was all right. The whole thing fell apart.
They showed us little bits, but that performance there, it all came together. And you've got to say about Farhad coming, he was a centre forward, some glorious opportunities for him, but there was a meaning and a purpose, and there was an atmosphere there as well. And that's got to give him huge confidence. I mean, it started off with, that's what Farhad wants, that type of ball, just threading balls through, because he's very pacey. He'll run all day for you. So what we're trying to do is just show positive play. And sometimes when you do some positive play in the game, it just gets everyone else. That's it, and that seemed to be the case straight away when they came out. And Babatunde, get hold of the ball and have a little run at it. Go, start having a go at people once again. This is it, look. Brilliant play. You might think it's nothing, that, but it gets them attacking. It gets them on the front foot. And this is the pair of them working together, Farhad and Babatunde. Wonderful play. Great stop, by the way. It was a wonderful stop, but, where's this come from? Where's
exactly.
It come from? Yeah, where's Farhad been?
Change your personnel. Farhad's so different to Habibu. Habibu's your target man, so to speak. Farhad likes to run in behind. Totally different way of playing football.
What about it? Let's go to you for the crosses. Shnin's crosses.
I'll tell you what, these were that good, is when we were doing it this morning, I kept saying, no, we'll show the next one. And they're both the same. I mean, this guy can cross a ball. Just watch this here, he's on the move, there's a delivery. Farhad just gets caught underneath it, but in the same situation now, it comes back to him. And it's just...
It's identical.
Absolutely, it's so identical. I was like, no, the next one. And this is it now. Look at this for a delivery. We talk about Ali, what a cross he is from the right. This guy is probably the same on the left. Wonderful deliveries.
And it was so important because I thought they would change the tactics. They still went with the three centre-halves, so Shnin and Al Jasmi playing as wing-backs. What you want your wing-backs to do is get forward and get your crosses, and they did it. Here we go.
Ali's goal.
Yeah. That's Al Jasmi, the wing-back, right wing-back on the far side, getting forward. And the pair of them, him and Shnin, absolutely fantastic delivery. So it makes it easier for the forward as well. If they're going to get forward and they're going to put quality crosses in, make you run. Get in that box.
Yeah.
They've done their job, you do your job. Get in that box there.
Al Khaltian made a fight of it too, and Tibor Kanin, we talk about him, he always gives it 100%. There was some impressive movement of him again.
Yeah, just watch him here now. I mean, he plays on shoulders, he's fantastic. I mean, if there's any sort of criticism for the centre-half, you've got to keep your eye on him. This is what they look for. It didn't work then, but he's always just playing there and he's waiting. Wonderful delivery, and he gets his head in. But we played with a guy, Niall Quinn, that was very good at finding space like this. And this, once again, another wonderful ball. There's his space, there's his first touch, and it was an absolutely fantastic goal. The execution was brilliant, but it wasn't given. And that could have been the difference. It could have been them 3 points. It was 2-2 at the time.
All right. Now the Khalifa Stadium, that was the setting for the game between Al Sadd and Al Khor. Al Sadd really needed to get another win here so that their title aspirations wouldn't start slipping away even further. Well, the big stage always suits the big players, and Xavi stepped up as you'd expect. He put his side ahead in the 15th minute after Hamroun's pullback found the Spanish legend free on the edge of the box. His second came from the trademark free kick in the second half. But Al Khor were not done yet, and 2 minutes later, Sarouche popped up with his third goal in as many games. And when the captain, Al Bariki, scored a great header in the 70th minute there, things got interesting. Al Sadd rewarded penalty right at the end, and Hamroun slotted it away for the win. Is it right to say they get away with it again, Nick?
Yeah, I'd say that, with a penalty. But you've got to say about the 2 games, what we've seen at the stadiums brought the best out the other sides. We know what the top sides like Al Sadd can do, but Al Khor, Garafa last week, And it's no coincidence that Xavi scored the first 2 goals, because this is the arena what he's used to playing in all his career. You know, it's like a walk in the park for him, and it's wonderful just to see him. He's still enjoying his football, so this is a great comeback as well from Alcor.
What about Sarusa and Chris?
3 goals in,
3 and 3.
3 matches. I'll tell you what, this was a game. We rushed on for this one, and it was absolutely superb. Second half, just went toe-to-toe. The game stretched out. Alcor gave as good as he got, and it turned into a real... it was a difficult night for Al Sadd in the end, and it took this to... This was the defining moment, the difference between the two sides. What I will mention about Al Sadd, we talk about the squad. Pedro came back, Benezia was missing, but they had a load of kids playing. Young kid in goal, Barsham. Ahmed played centre-half, Salam in midfield. Fahad came on as a full-back. Saya and Hassan. That's 6 youngsters that have come on. Again, Nick, you know...
And they've won the game.
They've won the game.
You know, with 6 youngsters coming on.
These youngsters, you can see them playing a lot more, can't you? Because when they go in the Champions League, there's going to be more injuries, more suspensions. So these youngsters are going to be absolutely vital.
But that's the thing, they need game time.
Well, I can understand with... yeah, exactly. And that's probably why Ferrer is so clever enough to put them in now. Because he's going to have to rely on them in big games in the second half of the season.
But he's something special, the manager for Alcor. You know, he didn't have any of it at the end of the game. He's got that arrogance with him.
Oh, he was off down the tunnel, didn't he? Shake hands. That's how disappointed he was with the penalty decision.
Yeah. Interesting setup there. Alcor, we're seeing things change, aren't we?
Yeah, but he's got a bit of fire in his belly. He's, you know, shake the place up a little bit, not having it at all, walking off. He looks the part. He's got that Jugend type of thing about him. So, you know, it's a lot more positive for them.
Al Duhail, they still looked unbeatable, unstoppable. Al Markhir would have to be at their strongest and cleverest if they were to stop the runaway train. Al Duhail started strongly as usual, and in the 9th minute their captain Masakni was having a season to remember, cut back inside from the left and slotted away their first goal, his 9th of the season. Al Markhir were quick to respond when new signing Abdul Qadir used his strength and skill to put Saleh through. The 24-year-old Qatari striker finished well. Al Markhir kept things tight, but in the 43rd minute, Namtahi squeezed through and scored his 2nd of the season. That's 7th of the season, I beg your pardon. That's how it remained for the whole game. Al Duhail stretching the lead at the top of the table. Chris, it's, you know, it's well done for Al Markhir for keeping that things, well, unchanged in the second half and keeping it down. Well, yeah, well, it is that case, isn't it?
Yeah. I think before the match we would have said if Al Markhir got a 2-1 defeat, that would have been quite good for an Al Markhir. And you just the way Al Duhail attack you and the way Markhir have been defending in recent weeks, you're looking at another thumping on the cards. But to be fair, they kept on going, and the new signing Abdul Qadir, they've always got an outlet now. He's going to play a huge role in the second part of the season.
He played a role here, Nick.
No, he's brilliant, but, you know, I spoke to the manager the other day. So when you play Carry alongside him, he said he doesn't feel strong enough in midfield. I beg to differ about that. You know, you've got to have a go. You have to have a go in games of football. Look like Graffer have had a go. You know, you've got to do something. They've lost the way. You know, don't get me wrong, they were expected to lose this game. I'm going to go in about the defending because it was atrocious, the defending. But they have a squad of players which is a good squad to keep them, to get the middle of the table for me. And it's gone the opposite way. It's gone the opposite way. They're just, you know, obviously Abdul Qadir is good to see him. What about Traore? We saw him earlier on. Why is he not getting hold of the game? You've got Lawrence in there.
Nasser,
Saleh, good players there. Carry as well. It's not happening for him. You know, and it's worrying the second from bottom now.
How many of those quality players can you get into that starting?
No, I'd start off with Qadir and Carry up front. And then start getting some crosses in. Get the crosses in. We've seen crosses there, and play your football as well. They're big guys. Carry is probably one of the quickest players in the league. Humongous, strong guy. Use his pace. Frighten defenders.
Him and Abdul Qadir together sounds frightening.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
we can have Abdul Qadir going short. Him in the back. You've got so much work on that there, and just get at opposition.
All right, a couple of things you both picked out. Chris, do you want to lead us off on the bad defending for Al Markhir? Not that you're always a bearer of bad news.
Well, they're just so deep there. As soon as it goes to the edge of the box, the captain, who's Mido or Salaka there, they've got to squeeze up and condense the play. As soon as that ball goes back to Masatni for the shot, you've got to squeeze up. And there's plenty of players around him as well. The 2 central defenders just ball watch. Namte, he plays it inside and goes, and he makes up about 10-15 yards there. Look at the two central defenders where they are now. Not reacted. It's ball watching. It's a pet hate of mine, by the way, in football. I can't stand it because there's no need for it.
No.
What they're doing there, they're focusing on the ball, Rod. As soon as that ball gets played there, should be focusing on Namte here and just go with a run. They don't do it and pay the price.
OK, positive things. The Abdul Kadir and Saleh link up.
It doesn't surprise me. This is just what he does. I mean, this is wonderful hold-up play. Ball comes through him, and then he slides it through to Saleh. And it was against a run-up play, but well done by the youngster there by putting it away. Very difficult. Keeper, he just managed to chip it over him once again. Look, you know, it does not surprise me because they're capable of doing this. We want more of it. You know, just slid the ball into him, and then, you know, you've got obviously Kadir. We saw him score in the last game as well. You know, use that. That's a really strong point. That could be one of the strongest forwards for the middle half of the table. That could really fire you up, but they're just not organised. They need to be like an Salal, get organised at the back, no ball watching, midfield, and then obviously you're going to express yourself going forward.
Now, I know you said that ball watching was your pet hate, but I know there's something right up there that you both hate, and that's diving. And in this game, we saw two examples of that. Nick, go first.
Listen, we love Moez. We're big fans of him, but this has to get cut out. And his manager should tell him, the older pro should tell him, don't do that. Don't just tell him straight away. This here now, I mean, there's a few of the guys today. He's not touched him. He hasn't touched. He's won the ball. Simple as that. But look at what Lewis Jr. does there. Come on, you're a centre midfield player.
I know what he's done. He's seen, because he's come in with his foot on top of the ball.
But
he's realised, he's thinking, because where the referee is, actually, if you ever look where the referee is, the referee will just see the foot like that. Yeah. But he's nowhere near his leg or his foot. He's getting the ball.
Yeah. No, we've got to the stage now where players, we've got managers and players saying it, well, it was a touch, he touched me. Well, that means you've got to dive 5 yards over there. No, it doesn't. That touch there doesn't warrant you flinging yourself to the ground. Do you know, and that one is anticipating being hurt, but it doesn't get touched.
Is it getting a lot worse in the game?
It is.
And not just here, we're talking everywhere.
I think the Premier League it goes a lot more, but they're doing something about it. They're on the ball about that now. Here it's very bad. It is very bad here, you've got to say that. And the players, it's very difficult with the referees. We came out the best on the other day. We said, just play on. Play on unless it's something serious. We don't like to bring Vice up at all, but Vice had an injury. He didn't roll around, he was injured, right? And that's it. And you don't want that to happen with anybody. But all that there with Lewis, where you get up, you're kidding yourself. Get up, it's a game.
No, and actually, Vice is an example of somebody who normally does stay on his feet and uses his skill and gets on with it.
So don't act like that, they don't need to do that.
I know, but you know, I always remember you, I think it was you who asked Gianfranco Zola. We all love Gianfranco Zola. He was amazing as a player for Chelsea, for, you know, Italy international. But I remember you picked him up on a dive once, and he said to you, he sort of deflected and said, well, you know, it's not about, it's about just finding an advantage for your team.
Everybody.
And I remember I remember when we started discussing it then, I thought, hang on a minute, this is one of the greats telling us.
Yeah, but if you remember, I mean, talking to Gabriel, the manager from Qatar,
Gabriel Calderon,
who played with Diego Maradona when he was kicked all over. But they always had a dive anyway, didn't they? The Italians, they always liked a little one of them. They've always had that. So people see it differently around the world.
Yeah.
They do, you know. There was always teams who always liked a little bit of a dive, but not in it. Just you don't want to see it. So it's fair play. That's what it's cheating at the end of the day.
Right. Al Saleh had slipped up in week 9 with a 1-0 defeat to Al Khor. They wanted to bounce back against Al Ahly in week 10, a side that had only won 2 matches themselves. Your commentary comes from Nick Samedy and Chris Bacon.
Best of touches from Chikawi. Mir prodding the ball forward to Lazard. Tamor would take the shot on. Tamor smashes the bar. What a strike from Al Saleh's top scorer. Lazard now. Not a bad delivery, wonderful delivery, chance for Almari. Almari on the half volley, good save by Al Sheikh. Corner to Saleh. Momentarily round the corner to Kaderi. Skipper tries his shot, just doesn't get hold of the ball. Interesting ball towards Lazard. Lazard getting in behind Cahill. Lazard looking for options. Lazard into the near post, 1-0, Saleh. Just made it a little bit too easy for Lazard then. He grabs his 4th for the season. Good option to have. Chikawi now looking over the top towards Muntari. Muntari gets in behind Al-Qahtani! That's what he's brought into the club to do. One chance, one goal.
Yeah, once again very bad defending, but either way, Muntari, yeah, well done. Well done. I think they just got to be the ball over the top. Look at Chikawi making the run. He's just got to lift it. Just has to lift it. You saw the run from Chikawi. He will be looking at his situation with Muntari. Hopefully he's okay. Here's a ball coming into the box now.
Oh, what a ball. What a ball! He's asking for someone to tap it home. Al Ahly goal though. Here we go. Wagner! Wagner! Screamer!
Oh, what a goal that is. Oh, what a strike though. What a strike that was.
There's that ball over the top as well. Nazrit again. Nazrit's in the near post. Got to do better. Oh, mistake by Al-Qahtani again as Nazrit got the pace to finish off this move. What a recovery tackle that was by Al-Qahtani. Oh, free header. What a save by Aziz. Great delivery from Michel. Yazidi coming forward into the feet of Nazrit. Back towards Nazrit. Oh, another header just goes past the far post. Down in Chikawi. Well, he certainly had the chances tonight, Al Ahly. Find Trésor down this right-hand side, very quiet as well. Trésor tonight, former Al Ahly player is. Trésor still coming forward, eventually tackled by Mustafa. Al Yazidi steps in, can he get shot off? Al Yazidi just over the bar. Majid now giving width down this right-hand side. Trésor with the overlap.
Just needs a touch.
Chikawi, Nazrit! Timur manages to take it on with his head. Wanted a penalty. Wonderful delivery into the box, and Timur.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, what a comeback! What a comeback, Majid!
Absolutely brilliant. We spoke about him. He's just come back from a very serious injury. We spoke before about Salir trying to get the 3 points with a glorious opportunity.
Chikawi now. Can he pull it back? It's around the 3 points up, but it's a massive miss for Omar. On the counter-attack again. Omar breaking forward. Omar, can he... Oh, it's a 2 chance in the last minute. Omar is breaking from the field, but the referee blows the final whistle.
Well, what a result. Al Salir maybe look at it as a slip-up, but let's look at Al Ahly again, another side that needed a win, Nick, and they got it. Needed points, and they got it.
Do you think Salir still got a chance of winning the league?
I know, I harped on about it quite a lot, didn't I?
What did Sean say? Sean Mulvina, did he say?
He may have jumped on my bandwagon as well.
Is he on there?
I think he is, yeah. I think, listen, it's not...
I'm not saying, listen, it's
not insurmountable. Things can... I don't know, Al De Gea just look unbeatable at the moment.
They do, and they've got De Gea next. So
yeah, I know.
Listen, well done by Al Ahly. Good performance. It could have been a lot more, to be honest with you, with Nazareth, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But, yeah, and you've got to say as well, delighted for Majid. You know, he's another one who's come back from a serious injury, and let's not forget how good he was as well before he was never present in the Algiers team and an international as well, so it gets him back on track.
In general, if you look at what was the difference about Al Ahly in this performance, Chris, that gave them, you know, a chance, as Nick said, they could have done a lot better.
I think the coach Caparros did his homework. I thought it worked out great for him in the first half, playing against the wind, because Al Salir were pushing up with that high line, and they kept on knocking these balls in against the wind. He was holding up for the Nazrit and Muntari, the forwards, to run onto it. It was perfect conditions for him in the first half, and he kept on knocking that back door of Al Salir. He had a torrid time, the 2 central defenders in the first half.
Yeah, let's look at that like Lazar goal, because actually it didn't start too well for Al Ahly. You thought, right, business as usual here.
Yeah, it was an awful goal to give away, and they seemed to grow the more and more the game went on. Al Ahly, but this at the start was an awful goal to give away. Just coming up to 20 minutes. When he breaks into the box, okay, he gets in front of the defender, but nobody comes over at all. Nobody comes to try and sort it out. He gets one chance, and then he gets another chance and puts it in the back of the net, and they were all over the place, and you really feared for Al Ahly then.
Bit of ball watching there as well. Or just watching everything.
Just not helping out your
Watching
team, mate.
and not doing, yeah.
Yeah, correct. But listen, they made up for it in an attacking play. And it's something we haven't seen from Al Ahly for quite a bit. The attacking play was really good, really encouraging in the first half.
Muntari's goal, Chris.
Yeah, Muntari, Nasrit, who else played? Nicholas, help me out up front.
Majid came on as well.
This is Muntari's goal.
Yeah, I mean, this is, two central defenders there just get caught out completely. And there's the ball holding up in the wind. Muntari takes the gamble. We didn't see... How many times did we see an offside? I don't think we saw an offside from an Al Ahly player in the first half. They timed it to perfection. They got in time and time. It should have been more goals. Simple as that.
Nasrit, we're just going to show you two of the opportunities. I mean, he had five, I think, Nick.
Yeah, he had a lot. He had to really do better. It's good that he was in the position. I mean, this was a ball over the top. Takes it early, you know, but he's got to do better than that. He's got to really hit the target. I mean, that was one of them. I mean, talking about, you know, we've been talking about the high line from Salia, and they did work on it because a lot of the chances were just coming, just balls over the top. And all of a sudden he goes through, he does wonderful there. Now he shows the pace he's got, he's going away. It's great defending, by the way, but I want him just to be a little bit more cute. I want him to do something, get his shot off. Can he pull it back, show a bit of quality? I mean, that's what you do there. Look, the youngster in the stand, then just giving it, that's what he should be doing. You know, and it's... listen, he was there for it, but, you know, you want him to... He's got to put the chances away.
Timur Abdukolikov, he had a good chance as well,
yeah.
Chris. And sort of he started the season on fire and things have cooled down a bit.
He did, and it was a wonderful driven ball, and like we say, it just keeps holding up in that wind. And we just thought, Timur, could he go and attack it there with a header or on the volley? He tries to take a touch in the box. And if you take a touch in the box in that situation, you're always going to get closed down by the opposition. So, chance gone there.
Now, you picked one thing out which sort of summed up the day, Nick, for Al Salia.
I mean, you want one, so you be positive. You know, getting a free kick is an advantage. You know, and this pretty much summed up their performance on the day for me.
Why doesn't Wagner... We've seen the free kicks Wagner's taken. They're always on the penny, Nick, with pace.
I can't believe he passed it back.
You know, what was the score then? Was it 1-1?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why is it not... You don't need both central defenders.
71
why
minutes.
is not one central defender gone up to make the numbers? And why has Wagner not done what he usually does and whip it in towards the far post? That's another pet hate of mine as well. Free kicks in the opposition half and they end up going back to the keeper, who's only going to lump it forward anyhow. So why don't you take the free kick from there and have a go into a wide position?
Is that...
Or a bit of quality?
Is that a mentality thing? Is that what Sammy Trabelsi was talking about? Maybe was not so much mind games. I mean, why would you look at 71 minutes? As a player, I'm sure you're aware of the time, OK? You're aware...
Definitely.
Right,
You know
so
where you
you're
are
there.
at any stage of the game.
It's 1-1 and you've got a free kick. You know you've got players who can make a difference and you pass it back.
But who's on the ball?
It's Wagner.
Belhaj and Wagner.
Yeah, I know.
Between them two, they've got 1,000 games between them. So someone take control, get the ball, whoever it is.
Why would they think that negatively?
Yeah, but that bit of belief went out of him. I don't know where it came from. I mean, the last game, obviously, Trabelsi wasn't happy with it. He said it was more mental. They thought they won it before they went out. And then they came back for this, and I thought, well, there's going to be a reaction. Well, there wasn't really a reaction. No. It wasn't. It was really, you thought, where's this performance come from? And all of a sudden now they've got to try and get it going. And that at the end there, 1-1. You know, do they want to go and win the game, or are they happy with a draw in that situation?
Right, let's recap the results from Week 10. So on Thursday, the 30th of November, Al Gharafa, a 3-1 win against Al Arabi. Al Arabi really struggling now. Salal, a good draw against Al Rayyan. It finished 1-1. On Friday, Qatar Sports Club, what a win for them under their new head coach, Abdullah Mubarak, 3-2 win over Al Khalatiyat. And Al Khor ran Al Sadd close, right to the final moments of the game. A penalty giving Al Sadd the victory in the end. Al Duhail, the runaway train, 2-1 against Al Markhia. All three goals came in the first half. Al Salia losing out there to...
Al Ahly?
Yeah, Al Ahly, that's what I'm saying.
I was looking then.
That was hard.
I just had,
I don't know what you...
I had a blank there for a second, but there we go. Sometimes that happens. Good win for Al Ahly. Let's have a look at the league table and what that means. Al Duhail then, they're now 3 points clear of Al Rayyan in second. Al Sadd, point further back in third. Al Salia still in the top four, but that gap just getting a little bit bigger. Salah 5th. Al Ahly, that win brings them up to 6th position. What an important 3 points there. Al Gharafa in 7th. They needed to move, and they did from 9th. Al Khor in 8th. Al Kharatiat 9th. Qatar Sports Club's victory takes them off the bottom into 10th. Al Marhiyad in 11th, and Al Arabi now bottom of the league table. Just a quick, your thoughts on the situation there in the league table?
Worrying signs for a couple of teams. I'm just looking at the table then. Al Kharatiat with that defeat got brought right back into it, and Al Arabi, who's up next, Al Khor, the way they're going at the moment, that is a tough game, and Al Arabi have got it all to do for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but you look there, Al Arabi 6th, up to Kharatiat 9, 10. They're not far away, really. It's still pretty close there with them getting the results. You know, so this is
with their
vital.
performances on Nick.
Yeah, they're the ones there. You look at Al Arabi and you look for Arabi, really, you've got to say the number one. You know, what are they going to do?
I mean, if you went into next week's training, would you rather be Al Kharatiat, Al Arabi or Qatar Sports Club?
Qatar Sports Club.
Thank you.
Straight away.
But Kharatiat have still got goal scorers. I don't know, with Arabi, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
This next game before you get to the halfway mark is massive.
Right, it's the goals of the week as chosen by Nick and Chris. Who wants to start with number 3? Chris, who gets number 3?
Al Bariki leading by example. Wonderful. Gets right across the near post. Something we've been talking about the last few weeks. Great touch on it into the far post there. Fantastic goal by the skipper. No chance for the goalkeeper. No one on the post again, Rodders.
Brilliant goal. That's Al Bariki, number 3. The second best goal of the week, as chosen by Nick and Chris, goes to who? Nick Summerby?
Majid.
Wonderful. Pleased to see him back.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, you know, we forgot about him. You know, we thought it'd take a bit of time, but a lovely bit of skill there. Nice little nutmegs. Keeper comes out and he just slides it past the keeper, and you can see how happy he is there. The smile's back on his face, and getting back to his best, it'll be a massive plus for Al Ahly.
What a goal. And an important goal as well. Really helping Al Ahly out, moving them up the table. But the top goal from week 10 goes to who?
Aladdin, the king of the Pieros.
He's been featured heavily.
He's got the record amount of Pieros on this show.
He's come under scrutiny.
Worthwhile. It's all worthwhile. What
What
a header. Look at this, the height he gets there. Powerful header into the far post. Well done, Aladdin. Really pleased for him.
Fantastic. All right, that's it for week 10. A big thank you to Nick Summerby and to Chris Megan. And we will see you on Wednesday, the 6th of December, and that will be for the QNB Stars League preview show as we look ahead to the 6 matches in week 11, the final week before the winter break. From all of us here, bye for now.